Hello, today we're going to make some pizza, homemade pizza with lots of lovely toppings on it. So in our bowl this morning we're going to make some pizza dough. It is Tuesday and therefore it must be pizza. And so in our bowl we have 400 grams of 00 flour and 100 grams of semolina flour. We mix it all up so that it gets this lovely colour. Semolina has got a really rich yellow colour, so that makes a really nice mix, and the 00 flour is very fine, so it all works really well together. And now we're going to make a well right in the middle so that we can get our yeast, our sugar, our oil all mixed up into there so we can start our process. So I tend to use a dried yeast. I need 7 grams, so I'll put that into my dish. So it's on the scales and I'm looking for 7 grams of dried yeast. There we go. 7 grams of yeast. Into the yeast, I'm putting my spoonful of sugar. That's a tablespoon. I'm just using ordinary granulated sugar, but a caster sugar would be even better, but we are in lockdown and can't get hold of that right now. So what I like to do is to use the remnants of some sun-dried tomato oil, and I will need 2 of those in my recipe today. Here is 1 of those going in, and I think I've probably just about got enough to do 2 with. So I now make a little paste with that before I add my tepid water. And it's very important that we measure out the tepid water, but we'll make a nice little paste with the yeast, the sugar and the oil, and in this case sun-dried tomato oil. I did it last time, it tasted really nice, so I've done it again. I now need 325 ml of tepid water. And there we go. You see that? 325. Perfect. So I'm now going to add some of the tepid water into the paste. Give it a good stir around. Keep doing that. And once it's all mixed in, I will add it to the water before adding it to the flour. So I've added all of the yeast paste into my water, 325 ml. Give it a good old stir before adding it into the well of my flour. So now I'm going to start adding some of it in, and I'm using a fork, recommended by Jamie Oliver, and I believe everything that Jamie tells me. So as it gets a bit sticky, I add a bit more water to it. And that water has also got the yeast, the sugar and the oil. So I'm going to give that a good old stir around and a good mix and see where we get to. So when it gets to about this stage, this is where you need to get your hands in, and this is where you need to start working it. So it's coming together quite nicely, and I'm really giving it a good old knead, turning it about, making sure I collect all of the flour on the way, getting it all mixed in. That's it. I'll give it a good another rub round, making sure I've got all the flour all together, and that's the first part done. So kind of that's it now, and now we're going to cover it with some clingy, but I wet the clingy before I put it on just to give it a damp atmosphere and leave some holes in it as well so that it can breathe, and then put it into a nice warm room so that it can get some rising done, and I'll come back to it in another couple of hours. So as you can see, I'm using both hands and a double-handed kneading because I've got poorly thumbs, and just get it back. Add a little bit more flour if you need to, not very much, just so that it doesn't stick. And once that's done, into a small ball like so, and then once it's like that, divide into 4 portions to make 4 medium-sized pizzas. I like to use a large knife to make 4 good cuts. Turn it round, and then each piece will make a decent sized pizza, and you roll that up, put it in some clingy, put 2 in the freezer for next week and 2 in the fridge for this week. And it is as easy as that. So I've now rolled it out using a bit more flour on the prepared trays, and then put my passata, which in this case is a tomato and chilli passata, on the pizza. So that's one, and here's another. So ready for the toppings. I like to have all of my toppings prepared. So in here we have some mushrooms, some peppers, some red onion, with 2 types of cheese and an extra bit of goat's cheese, because I also love beetroot, and I've spiced up my beetroot as well, just to make it extra spicy. But you can add whatever you like. This is it now with all of the ingredients on the top, all my toppings, all my favourite toppings. And so now the oven is on really hot at about 220 degrees, using the big oven on my range. So I'm really lucky that I've got a range, and so I'm putting it into the big oven right at the top, and in that way, in about 10 minutes time, it will be pizza time.